As for exam time management, here is the strategy. As I mentioned, you will have 230 minutes, excluding the 2 breaks at 10 minutes each. So on your screen, whether you're going to take the exam online or at a testing facility, you'll have a timer. I think it's on the bottom right corner, but again, it might be different. So it has 350s, which means you'll have 3 hours and 50 minutes to start with. As per my suggestion, if you take 75 minutes to answer the first 60 questions, then you are left with 235 before you take a break, which means you'll have 2 hours, 35 minutes left. So there is a button to pause or to stop, and then for you to take your break. My suggestion is to really take the break, get refreshment, get yourself physically and mentally ready before moving on to the next section. And you don't have to use the entire 10 minutes. You can just use, like 5 or 7 minutes. Just give yourself enough time to get back to your seat, especially if you're doing it at a testing facility. You'll have to go through their security system, like giving your cell phone or anything else out of your pocket. So yeah, give yourself enough time to get back to your seat. Then you'll start the second section. You'll, as per my suggestion again, you'll take 75 minutes to answer questions 61 to 120. So then before you take your second break, the timer's gonna stop at 120. It's not gonna stop, you have to stop it yourself. So just remember the 2 magic numbers, 235 and 120, if you wanna do the 75, 75, 80 strategy. If you have your own preference, then, just do the math and just memorize it. I think you'll have a piece of paper and a pencil, just, write down the time where you need to stop. Because once you're taking the exam, your mind might get distracted, or you get too nervous to remember those numbers, and then you'll end up taking longer than you should for a section, and you don't want that. So yeah, like in this example, 120 is where you need to stop before you take your second break, the 10 minutes break, and then you move on to the third and last section to answer question 121 to 180. Important note, once you finish a section, you can't go back to actually to review those questions anymore. So for example, like going back, like over here, the first section, you already answered 60 questions. Before you take your break, or before you hit the pause or stop button, you can go back to those questions. But once you hit the pause or stop button, then you can't go back, especially once you start the next section. Okay, so that's something for you to remember. And based on my experience using this strategy, I actually had about 15 minutes left, but my mind was too exhausted by then that I could actually go back to check my responses to questions 121 to 180, but I was just too tired. Then I just hit the submit button, and you'll get the score instantly right after you hit the submit button, maybe about a minute or two.